Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist. I broke my doggone microphone. So you can just guess the type of day I'm having, but it's okay. Anyway, breaking or headline news. I don't know if some of y'all saw it, probably have because I've seen it all up and down my timeline, and I waited to say something about it because I waited to see how the narrative would be spun here. Okay? So, Frisco, Texas, two high school students, one charged with first-degree murder for stabbing the other in the heart. Now, before I get into some of the details of the story, just understand that a lot of the narratives that are being put out there are not necessarily accurate. There are still things to be discovered, and it's just a lot going on, okay? And at the end of the day, parents have lost their child, and another set of parents will likely lose their child to the system at this point. So, here's what this is one student, this is the other student. This student is the student who unalived this student. This is Carmelo Anthony. This is Austin Metcalf, both 17. He attends Frisco Centennial High School. He attends Frisco Memorial High School. The incident occurred at a track meet Wednesday morning at a Frisco Independent School District stadium. It was a track and field championship involving multiple schools in the district. So I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. I waited to say anything because I wanted to see how much information would be put out that I could gather to put out the most factual things without just giving my opinion on the situation. So factually, this is what happened. At a track meet, there are tents for each school typically. The tent is where the team sits or where their stuff sits at the very least. Your stuff goes under your school tent. It is not against the rules to sit at another school's tent, especially if you got friends at that school, used to attend that school, whatever. There are various reasons why a student would be under another school's tent. There is no rules against that. It is perfectly fine, okay? I want to make sure I said that first because what happened was he went and sat under their school's tent to hang with his friends who attend that school. It's also important to note that he has a twin brother. So it was both him and his twin present at this situation. Now, something more important to note as well is he's on the track team. They are not. They're football players. They are not on the school track team. He is on his school's track team. He was under their track tent sitting with friends. They asked him to leave. That is already problem number one. You have no authority or right to ask him to leave because it's not against the rules to sit under another school's tent. Okay? This is factual up to this point. Now, from there, witnesses state that they asked him to leave, but then what the narrative didn't put out there is that they didn't just ask, they got physical with him. Now, some witnesses say he was egging them on to get physical with him. He said, "Put your hands on me and see what happens." That could be seen as a threat. But people have said it, like, put your hands on me and see what happens, because he's already aware that that is what might happen if he doesn't move. Now, here's what another thing to note is that although the narrative is being put out there that this is just a typical student, it is also true, based off of people who go to school with them, that him and his twin are known bullies. I don't like bullies, okay? Don't think anyone ever deserves to die, but I don't like bullies. And you can only push people so far. Now, another thing that was put out there is that they had never seen him before. That turned out to be a lie. They had seen him before. Now, anyway, he said, "If you put your hands on me, see what happened." He puts his hands on him. Okay, so now it spirals. Now, here's another thing to take note of. They did not say, in all the narratives that have been put out there, no one ever actually said that they didn't just ask him to leave. They tried to physically remove him or jump him. And before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings. They broke his phone and stomped on it. This is all out there at this point. Now, before I get into the obvious narrative that they are trying to spin here, I would like to note his father and what he has said. First of all, it has been said that his parents forgive him. Okay, they said they forgive him for this. That's neither here nor there, though. I want to discuss what his father said. So his father, Jeff, talked about social media warriors using his son's death to create racial and political discourse and stated that that is disheartening. He stated that this is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on their soapbox trying to politicize this unless you were there, unless you saw it. Don't spread gossip. I love that, Jeff, and I respect it. So I won't go that route. But what I will say is that's exactly what's going to happen, whether you want it to happen or not, because that is the world. That is the America that we live in. Everybody is already making it that. The narrative that the media is even spinning has already made it that. I wish that that weren't the case, but they already did, because the media, news outlets, and everybody. Now, you would expect true journalists to do better, but nope. One of the pictures that immediately got put out of him was one of him holding an airsoft gun. Why is that the picture you want to put out when there's pictures of him on the track team? There's pictures of him in a suit. There's all sorts of pictures of him that could have been chosen, but no, you chose the one of him with an airsoft gun. Why? So see, the media will spin a narrative to make him look like a thug no matter what you try to say, Jeff. I respect what you said, but other people seemingly don't, including the media. But what they won't do is they won't talk about who he actually is. A respectful student who has never been in trouble, zero criminal history, not even a blemish, 4.0 track athlete, raised by two parents. They won't talk about that part. All I'm saying is don't paint him out to be this thug. I won't even put the race part on it. Don't paint him out to be this thug just because of the racial dynamic. And don't paint him out as if he did absolutely nothing wrong when step one, asking him to leave when he had every right to be there, was already a wrong. Not justifying what he did, and don't get up here talking about some, oh, you just trying to spin this narrative because you a black woman. No, because I have no problem holding somebody accountable when they wrong. Go back and watch the other video of Batanya Harding, who bopped old girl in the head with the baton. She was dead wrong. She deserves whatever punishment comes to her. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to defend somebody because they're black. That's not how it works. But I will say, make sure you put all the things out there and don't try to paint him as this villainous thug and paint him like he did absolutely nothing wrong or nothing at all to deserve. He didn't deserve to be unalived, but to deserve some type of consequence. You cannot be a known bully and think that people aren't going to be frightened of you and want to protect themselves. You cannot be a known bully and ask or tell someone to move from a place where they are allowed to sit. So all I'll say is, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but in my mind, he going to jail. He going to prison. He not going to be able to pull self-defense, even if they truly were bullying him and his brother. He not going to be able to pull self-defense. And honestly, that's going to be because of the part of that, no matter how you feel, is going to be because of the racial element. He's not going to. If he does, I will be highly surprised. That's all I'll say. Now, again, hey, Daddy don't want everybody arguing racial stuff here. Unfortunately, that's the America we live in, and it is of no fault of mine, yours, and a lot of other people's. But it is what it is. I feel sad for both of these families. This is terrible. It's not okay, but neither is bullying. This is terrible. It's not okay, but neither is painting a narrative to make one person look a certain way while trying to make another one look another way. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I said something about it because I hadn't, and it's all over the timeline. But y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of y'all evening, and I will holler at y'all later.